What's up, Vapers? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Avenger Kit. Alright guys, so the random question of the day is, what condiments do you prefer to put on a hot dog? Now the weather's getting nicer, people are outside grilling, and now I'm just getting curious about what you guys like to put on your hot dogs out there. Just leave a comment in the box below. I'm going to go with the standard ketchup and or mustard. It's either one or the other, sometimes both, who knows, but I'm sure there's a lot of interesting combinations out there, and I want to hear from you guys. Just drop a comment right down there in the box below. Hello iJoy. Lock device. And there you have it, the world's first voice-activated mod, the iJoy Avenger Kit, with a big, huge shout-out and thank you going to iJoy for hooking me up with this one for the purpose of making this video, and it's been a blast testing this out and just kind of seeing what it can do and basically just going through the different voice functions and whatnot, but it's a really cool little piece of tech and it's definitely a sign of things to come. So taking a look online, this device comes in 7 different color options for you to choose from. You have matte black, matte champagne gold, mirror blue, mirror silver, mirror green, mirror purple, and mirror rainbow, and it's going to run you about $57. I'm sure iJoy are planning on coming out with a whole bunch of other colors as they typically do, but until then, if you want to grab one of these for yourself, I'll leave a link right down there in the description below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got the Avenger Kit in its box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging and then we'll talk about what's inside. So first and foremost, voice control Avenger 270 kit with some little voice activation-y sort of icons right there. iJoy, picture the device, nice bit of design on this thing overall. iJoy logo on this side here. And on this side here we have the scratch-off authentication, we have the color indication, and some company information right there. On the back we have some basic specs about the device. We have what the kit includes, and a UPC and some more warnings right there at the bottom. So let's go ahead and take off this outer sleeve. There we go. Kind of a carbon fiber looking box, which is kind of nice, and it's like a little flip top like that, as you can see there. Here we have the Avenger itself, so let's just go ahead and move that out of the way for the time being. We have the Avenger tank as well. Mine still has juice in it, yours will not, of course, but there you go. We have this lovely velvety sort of feeling padded divider, little thing there. So mine actually came with a set of these iJoy batteries. Some will not. Make sure you read the product listing carefully when you're shopping for one of these. We have an extra glass piece just kind of floating around in there, which, they could have packed it a little bit nicer in my opinion, but hey, there's just that. We have some tank bands, O-rings, and a little 510 drip tip adapter for your Avenger tank. There you go. We have an extra coil as well. This one I believe is the 0.35 40 to 80 watt standard round wire sort of coil there. I have yet to use that one because the mesh coil is still kicking. Of course, the obligatory USB cable. Yes, another one to the pile. There you go. We have a little warranty card right here. Ta-da! Warranty card, tiny printing. And last but not least, we have the user manual. I actually had this outside of the box because I've been reading it, because those voice commands can get a little bit tricky. Some color graphics in here. The English section is pretty much half of this thing. And with that, it's pretty easy read. You know, it's not tiny printing, which is good, but otherwise it is a bit hefty. So make sure you have some time set aside to look through this thing to get to know your functions, etc. But you'll be using this page a lot because that has all of the voice commands on it. So yeah, keep this thing handy. Alright guys, let's go over the specs. First of all, it takes two 2700 high amp batteries or two 18650 high amp batteries with the included sleeve. Maximum wattage output is 234 watts. Minimum atomizer resistance is 0.06 ohms. Temp control range is 200 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. It supports nickel, titanium, and stainless steel. TCR adjustments, voice control systems which are highly intuitive, unique custom user mode, multifaceted diamond cutting design, vertical display layout, intuitive OLED display, RGB firing bar, LED light up functionality, short circuit protection, overcurrent protection, over voltage protection, overcharge protection, PTC protective circuits, micro USB port for firmware upgrades, and it has a spring-loaded stainless steel 510 connection. Alright guys, let's give you a quick rundown of the Avenger sub-ohm tank, starting off with the drip tip up top here. As you can see, it's got the iJoy logo on it. It is made of metal, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but you can swap it out for any old 810 tip. You have two O-rings at the bottom here holding it in, no problems there whatsoever. You can see the bore at the top, nice and wide. And at the bottom, same thing. So there you go. I do have my little tester 810 tip here. Let's just go ahead and pop that in. And it's a little bit snug because it is a friction fit tip, so you might have a little bit of difficulty there, but it's better to be a little bit too tight than a little bit too loose. So there you go. So here at the top we have our filling section. Let's just go ahead and show you that real quick. Open up the top just by unscrewing it. And there you go. There are your fill ports right there at the top. Nice and wide, generous, so it's easy to fill. And then you just close it up like that. Only a couple of threads there. So I'm currently using the 0.15 ohm mesh coil, which has wood and... So I'm currently using the 0.15 ohm mesh coil, which is rated between 40 to 90 watts. I typically use this thing around 65 to 70, and it has wood pulp and cotton for wicking material. You also get a 0.35 ohm standard coil, which has wood pulp and cotton as well, rated between 40 to 80 watts. So the airflow on this tank isn't really breaking any new grounds as far as technology is concerned. However, it is very plentiful and it's smooth as well. You have this one dualed on the other side, as you can see there, and it has a stopper fully open and fully closed. So nothing really new there, but it is really, really nice, and overall, very happy with this tank. I really do enjoy using it. Alright guys, let's get this Avenger up and running. Let's just pop some batteries in here real quick. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that it does come with the battery adapter sleeve if you want to use this thing with 18650s. There you go. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. It's got the little battery things marked at the bottom here, so negative going up this way and positive up going this way. So there we go. Pop it into place and flip it over. You get the little splash screen and boom, it's ready to go. So it has all the standard features that you would be used to on any other mod. You have power down on this side, power up on this side. It goes in 1/2 watt increments. Fire button is this whole side trigger section right here. So to get into the menu, it's just 3 clicks on the fire button, 1, 2, 3, and you get this screen here. You can select the different tabs for your different functions there. And let's say we want to change the color of the light, just go here, click and hold to get into the sub menu, and you just select which one you want to pick there and click and hold again. This one you're going to have to read through the menu on because it's really difficult to explain all in one short video, but with that, once you get it, it's pretty darn easy. I actually just switched the mode, so now it's sensing the sound of my voice and using blue lights at the bottom, as you can see there. So pretty cool little feature, and it could be a lot of fun at parties and that kind of thing, but otherwise it doesn't really affect the mod overall as far as performance or battery life. So here I'm going to demonstrate the actual use of the voice command. So to get started, you have to say, "Hello iJoy, power low, power low, power high, lock device, unlock device." There we go. Then you can say things like, "Turn on light." There you go, you got different shades there. "Hello iJoy, shut down." And there we go, powers off all by itself. Pretty darn cool. You can see my hands have been here the whole time. Actually, I've been reading out of my little cheat sheet manual because I still don't know the commands for this thing. But overall, pretty cool little device here. I really do like a lot of the features on this thing. But anyways, let's go ahead, head back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off with the pros, and my first pro is the functionality is on point. This thing works really well. It's really never given me any sort of problem whatsoever. It works just the way I want it to. I mean, I'm a pretty simple guy. I usually keep it in wattage mode, and I usually stay under 100 watts. So right now it's delivering excellent battery life. It's pretty easy to navigate the menus, and it's fairly easy to set up and vape. So with that, it's definitely doing it for me as far as the simplicity factor is concerned. So for me, that definitely scores a lot of points. My second pro for this one is that the Avenger tank that comes with it is actually really good for a kit tank. Now I use the air quotes because normally companies don't throw in their high-end sort of top-of-the-line tanks with kits, and this is no exception to that. However, the Avenger tank is really good because the bubble glass is definitely nice, having that added capacity. The coils that come with this thing are excellent. I've had no problems with flavor or longevity whatsoever. I'm still on the original coil going on 3 weeks now, and I'm definitely still loving it there. But comparing it to some of these standalone tanks like the Falcon tank or something like that, it still doesn't quite stack up in my opinion, but it's pretty darn good for what comes in the box. And my third and final pro for this one is the value for your money is absolutely there with this kit. You're talking about 57 bucks, which normally you can't even get a dual battery mod for 57 bucks, but with this one here, you not only get the mod, but also a pretty darn decent sub-ohm tank as well. You're absolutely going to get your money's worth out of this one, even if you don't use the voice activation features or anything like that, and you just want it for the mod. That's perfect. You're absolutely going to get a lot out of this thing, and you're really going to enjoy it. Alright guys, so moving on to the cons, my first con is that this button is a hair trigger. You really got to be careful with this one. And comparing it to the Captain or the Diamond, you know, those have their standard buttons right here at the top, whereas this one is the full side trigger. So I can't tell you how many times I've gone to pick up my mod and my bottle of juice, gave it a little bit too much pressure on that button and set it off. So make sure you lock up your mod when you're not using it or when you're not planning on firing it, because that could be an issue and you could potentially burn out your coil if you hold it down for long enough. My second con for this one is on the subjective side, but it comes with a metal tip on the tank. Personally, I can't stand metal tips. I just really wish they threw a spare Delrin one in the box or something like that just to give you the option, but instead they just went with the full metal tip. Not sure why, but I'm just not a fan. My third con for this one is that the screen real estate could have been better used. Now, the biggest number on here is the wattage, which is great in my opinion. I think that's something that should be very noticeable, but you have this little like race car at the bottom here, which I don't really understand for your battery life, and that could definitely be better. I wish there was a bigger, clearer picture of where your battery status was, and the smaller numbers as well could have been a little bit bigger. Just wish they kind of used that space a little bit more to their advantage. My fourth con for this one is that the voice activation feature really needs some sort of haptic feedback. Now, in my opinion, it would have been really great if they had a little vibration or some sort of something to let you know that your command went through or not, because I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting here just yelling at the screen, trying to get the wattage to go up, and it just does nothing, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So just some sort of little vibration or something like that to let you know you need to say it again would be really, really helpful. And my fifth and final con for this one is that it's gimmicky and it's pointless. Now, you can't really bash on iJoy too much for this one because they're just trying to push the limit of what you can and can't put in a mod. And with this one here, they just added a voice activation function to a pre-existing decent mod. So if you don't really care about the voice activation thing, then just go ahead and buy the Diamond or the Captain or something like that. But if this really intrigues you, then obviously you're probably going to buy this no matter what. Personally, I can't see myself using the voice activation function all that often, and even when I do, it's just basically to show it off to someone that might be asking about it. But with that, I'm probably going to end up going back to my Diamond right after this video. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for review? I'm going to say no to this one for me personally, because I just can't see myself using that voice activation function, which is really the main purpose of this device here. But with that, if you guys are looking for a halfway decent mod with a halfway decent tank on top for not a lot of money, this kit will be an excellent choice for you for under 60 bucks. So make sure you check out the link I've got right down there in the description below if you want to pick one of these up. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Avenger Kit or anything else you guys want to discuss down there. Make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description below. Also, check me out on Instagram. It's just at Daily Vape TV. I post a ton of stuff on there all the time and just random little live streams and things like that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on. Hello, iJoy. Auto Watt. Auto Watt. Auto Watt.